This is one of the very first animated films I remember watching as a child. It was the very first animated version of The Little Mermaid. Now what makes this version of The Little Mermaid any different from Disney's version? Well, this version actually tries to stick as close to the original novel as possible. It's so faithful to the original that at the beginning and the end of the film, they show live-action footage of Denmark in order to give you a little backstory on Hans Christian Andersen.
Denmark is a European country built beside the sea.
I've got to say though that this footage feels more like a documentary than rather a backstory. And here's the actual animation, and I gotta say, this opening scene really confused me. I have no idea what's going on because there's weird shots all over the place. What the hell's the turtle doing in the shot? Get him out of it.
I'm home! Oh, Marie.
Now, just looking at these mermaids, what's the one element of them that's different from the Disney version?
I didn't mind the storm. I was with Fritz. You'll never come of age if you don't stop playing around with that naughty little dolphin. Grandma won't give you the pearl hairpin if you keep on the way you are now. I'll be heartbroken if she doesn't give it to me.
In case you haven't guessed, it's the fact that they don't have any clamshells or seashells or whatever they are covering their boobs. The only thing covering their boobs is their hair. And believe me, it doesn't always cover everything. That's right, in this animated version of The Little Mermaid that's rated G, there are at least 8 nipple slips. And no, I'm not going to show you that footage. I'm not that sick.
Oh, poor thing, she hasn't got any clothes on.
So the story is pretty much the same as the Disney version, except for a few little elements that are different. One thing that's different is that the prince really doesn't want to marry the Little Mermaid the first time he meets her. He wants to marry this woman with the black hair that saved her after the Little Mermaid saved her, but he can't find her.
Are you all right? Can you hear me? Oh, thank God he's alive.
So you know how the Little Mermaid exchanges her voice to the Sea Witch in exchange for legs so she can walk on land and marry the prince? Well, there was one more catch in this video that wasn't in the Disney version. The Little Mermaid has to fall in love and marry the prince in a certain amount of time, or she dies. Well, she doesn't really die, she turns into sea foam, but that has an average life of a few minutes. So even though the prince wants to marry this woman with the black hair, he can't find her, so he decides to marry the Little Mermaid instead.
What the fuck?
But once he finds the woman with the black hair, he immediately cancels the marriage with the Little Mermaid. Just like that. He doesn't apologize or anything. He's just like, well, I'm gonna marry this girl now. Bye.
The Suio princess is the same girl that saved my life. We're going to announce our marriage immediately.
There's also lots of little things in this film that bug me a lot. Like, I know it's supposed to be a film where underwater creatures are supposed to talk, but every single animal in this film talks. Everything. From the dolphin...
Marina, you disappeared so suddenly when that ship went down. I was frightened half to death.
To this bird.
Don't be unhappy, Princess Mermaid. The prince cares for you very much. He wouldn't like this other girl even if he did meet her.
To the cat.
Miserable little wretch. You won't be so lucky next time.
Why are all these characters talking?
A special search and rescue operation is now ready to begin. You are to return to the palace right away, princess.
I love the fact how even though they're underwater, they can still have afros. A lot of the scenes in this film are really confusing. Like there's the scene where the Little Mermaid is supposed to sing a song for her family in this concert hall, but it really doesn't look like her lips are moving to the words. And then I just plain lost track of the scene because she ends up leaving the concert hall. Now, is she still singing or what? What's up with the umbrella fountain? Oh, and there's one more catch to the deal. If she can't get the prince to fall in love with her, she can kill him and she can go back to becoming a mermaid. But of course she can't bring herself to kill him, so what happens to the Little Mermaid? She dies!
So, the Little Mermaid's soul ascended to heaven.
That's the ending. The Little Mermaid dies in the end. Now, why would you make a deal that you could fall in love with someone in a certain amount of time, and if you didn't, you'd have to turn into sea foam? I gotta say, that was a real stupid move on her part. She should have said a more realistic goal, like I have. I bet this wizard that if he gave me this show, I'd make it popular within a certain amount of time, or I'd be transformed into a hat. And so far, I've been doing pretty good on time. I mean, I'm pretty... Oh, shit! And so the VHS dude ascended into heaven.